That's right. Well, I thank you all so much for coming here. Some of you have come a very long distance. Our friends from Japan have probably come the longest distance. We've got friends here from France also. My father came from Massachusetts, and he actually was not satisfied just to come to the thing. He actually moved to Virginia from Massachusetts. Now we're talking. That's what we're attracted to Virginia, Governor. So you can probably figure out that this is not where we actually make the tagatose. I mean, it's not made in this room here. That's about 200 feet behind you. Fantastic facility here that State Farm is subleasing to us, and we're grateful for them letting us use this room for this event today. Also, a little housekeeping. You've got on your chair a little taste of tagatose and a listing of the people we want to thank, and a few words about our company. I will say this, that the brand name you see on there is not the brand name that we're going with. We could call it a code name, but we're actually going to be coming out with a different brand name, but we wanted to have something to put on the packages. Governor, we really appreciate you being here. This is a fantastic day to have you here. In a sense, we feel like that we have been under the watchful eye of governors since we decided to come over here, because if you could see through the roof and up the hill, there's the house of a famous American named Thomas Jefferson, who was governor of Virginia. And just down the road from him was another governor, James Monroe. And both of those governors went on to become president. So maybe there's something about governors hanging around here, this area of Albemarle County. It might be lucky. I don't know. All right. So we did have Governor Northam here in October of 2021 to announce that we were taking over space. We actually are now in more space than what we announced at that time. But when he was here, which we were grateful for, we went over some milestones that had occurred up to that point. And I want to go over a few milestones that have occurred since then. We have, I think, more than doubled our employees. So to what you were saying, Chairman Price, that's so meaningful to us. And I also want to say that during COVID, we did not shut down a single day. We did not lose a single employee. And so we're very thankful for that. But double the employee base. We took what was a paper warehouse and have turned it into a really amazing processing floor and plant number one for tagatose and other rare sugars. And that was done in a time of supply chain challenges. Mark from Structure over there told me how bad the supply chain challenges were going to be and how to manage my expectations. And so I, of course, let that go in one ear and out the other. But we had Lee Building Company to thank for getting this done. Amazing local company, very good work, and also very patient with us. I can't go into all the details there, but there were some lean years during the summer, lean months during the summer where we were putting together the final financing package to get this done. And there were times where one day felt like 2 weeks. And I know that I did not like seeing John Mannix's name pop up on my cell phone, and I'm pretty sure he did not like seeing my name pop up. And I saw Arlene Lee this morning, and she said I look relaxed, which is not true. I'm not at all relaxed. But it's so nice to see you, Arlene and John and Brad and the rest, and Mike Ware, when I don't owe you money. So, now, other milestones. We got this plant licensed. I forgot the agency name, but it's a Commonwealth Virginia agency that comes in and licenses it on behalf of the FDA. And so, Sean Hughes, where are you, Sean Hughes? So Sean is our quality leader, and he managed that process. And I love this story that after the inspector went through, at the end, he said, well, normally I would go back to my office and you'd hear from me in about 3 weeks. But this is so impressive that I'm signing the certificate today, and I want to bring my colleagues here to see how it's supposed to be done. So, Sean, fantastic job. A few other things that we got, thanks to Dr. Karen Weichel. Karen, where are you? Karen leads our regulatory team and our nutrition science team, and we got certified as keto, so tagatose is keto certified, good for keto diets. Also non-GM verified through the non-GM, I forgot the name of it, non-GM project, or something like non-GMO project. Kosher, we're getting halal, a bunch of other things too. Vegan, we're going to be getting that too. So Karen, thank you for that work. Of course, we started up the facility, and there are many, many people, too many to thank, not enough time to thank everybody, but the one I want to call out is Dan Wichelecki, who is the chief inventor, chief scientific officer, co-founder of Bonumose. So Dan has been indescribable. He has actually worked 80 straight days. I think today, actually last night, because he's working nights, but 80 straight nights on this facility here. He works, I think, 18-hour days and nights. I'm not sure where he sleeps. At one point, he was sleeping here in the building somewhere. And I remember telling my son, Caleb, about that, and Caleb's like, man, that is Elon Musk dedication. By the way, in terms of public officials, he's probably not supposed to be here. My son Caleb is on the city council of Williamsburg. So, good little town down the road. So, anyway, there are lots of other folks that have contributed to this from Bonumose, but can you just raise your hands if you're from Bonumose? Just wave and let everybody know who you are. So as thankful as we are to have you here marking this occasion, I got to tell you, this is really hard. Everything about this is hard. And you know, the 19th century philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Build a better mousetrap and the world will be the path to your door." But I can guarantee you he was not speaking from experience. You can build the perfect mousetrap and the world's not going to be the path to your door. It's not going to sell itself. And then I think Ralph Waldo was maybe too busy philosophizing and not actually building anything. So he doesn't know how difficult it is. But you business owners here, you entrepreneurs understand how. I see Piam back there, so give me an amen. You know how hard it is. Another great local company, AgriSpheres. But there's also something wonderful about the difficulties, and difficulties are winnowing. And you know, we've come through some deserts, and we're not yet in the land of milk and honey, or milk and tagatose, I probably should say. I think from here we can see the promised land. We're not there yet, and what I can see is that winning is reaped from winnowing. So maybe it's a good thing. You know, maybe that's something that we should be happy about. But when I sometimes catch myself thinking that's a good thing, I think about the scene in Cool Hand Luke where the warden says, "Oh, this is for your own good, Luke," and Luke says, "Hey, stop being so good to me, boss." So the question then arises: why do we do this? You know, what impels us forward? And I know that's a question that my wife asked, mostly silently, so I thank you for that, because she's sweet like Tagatose. But you know, what does impel us forward? And what it is there are many things, but Bonumose has the ability to enable better for you food that tastes as good as the food you love today and is affordable for the global mass market. And that is a great unmet need. It's astonishing how much money is spent on food globally. There's $9 trillion spent on food globally. There's $11 trillion spent on the diseases that food causes. Diabetes, metabolic disorder, obesity, et cetera, et cetera. That is astonishing. Food should nourish us. It should nourish our body. It should nourish our soul. At the very minimum, it should do no harm. But food is doing harm, and food is making us sick. And as a poet said about another American president, when the sick world cries, how can we sleep? Now, unfortunately, I think Dan Wichelecki's taking that a little too literally, because I'm not sure that guy does sleep at all. But that is our purpose. That's what's driving us forward. So, in conclusion, I want to borrow from our neighbor up the hill, Mr. Jefferson, that we hold these truths to be self-evident. Number one, that people will eat healthier food as long as it tastes as good as the food they love, and as long as it's affordable to them. That's when they will eat healthier food. And number two, when that happens, and there's less spending on diet-related health care, that's going to have a deflationary impact upon global prices. And number three, when people are alleviated of suffering from diet-related health problems, they're going to be liberated for productive pursuits. So this is our purpose. This is what drives us forward. And you know, in a time when there are wars and rumors of wars and pandemics and panics, we hope this is good news, and we hope that you will help us share the good news. So with that, turn it over to Roger Johnson to introduce our special guest.
be hard to follow.